Okay, so Sal and I are about to go into the sensory deprivation. Sleep deprivation. They made that joke in Rent Link. Sensory deprivation chamber. It's going to be pretty cool. We're going to be floating. We're going to be zen. And it looks like a really cool place. I mean, I don't know why I tried to turn it vertical, because that's a stupid idea. Say hi, Sal.
Greetings.
And that's one of the chambers right there, so it's got one of these cool beginners fly to floating, signed off our waivers in case we disintegrate in the chamber. Should be good. Look forward to it. We'll see you after we get out. Okay, so we're taking a tour and a walk through.
This right here, sensory deprivation tank. It does have about 800 to 1,000 pounds of Epsom salts, mixed with about 1,200 pounds of water, so it's almost a 1-to-1 ratio, but not quite. Since it does have so much salt in it, if you guys do have any cuts, scratches, scrapes, or anything like that, it will sting for a little bit, but the pain will go away pretty quickly, and it actually is good for anything like that. If it gets in your eyes, that's basically the only thing that can take away from an amazing float, and that's not because it's excruciatingly painful or anything like that. It's just very bothersome. It's like opening your eyes at the beach. It's going to sting, which in turn can take you out of your relaxation. So if you do get it in your eyes, our biggest recommendation is just get out of the tank real quick, take a shower, rinse it out of your eyes, and then get back in, and that way you take, a minute to take care of the problem instead of 10 minutes thinking, how long is this going to last, when's it going to go away, all that fun stuff. First thing you guys are going to do today is just take a quick shower before you get in the tank, just to rinse off. After that, go ahead and turn off this light. All you got to do is pull this switch right here. Then go ahead and step in the tank. You got your handle right here, pull it closed on top of you. Once you're inside the tank, all you're going to do is just hold this button right here for about 4 seconds. That'll turn the light off and actually start your session as well. So that'll turn off the light. At the end of your session, the light's going to automatically come back on, let you know your time's up. So when the light comes on, take a minute, stretch out, bring yourself back, and then go ahead and open up the lid, get out, take a shower, rinse off, and you'll be good to go.
It just opens up with a push?
Yep, just give it a push, it'll open it up, open the rest up pretty much by itself. So it'll start closed, you just kind of give it a tap, the rest does itself. If for any reason you guys do get salt in your eyes or anything like that, feel free to turn the light back on. Like I said, just hold the button for about 4 to 5 seconds, the light will come on, allowing you to see so you can get out. Rinse it out of your eyes, get back in, hold the button, turn it off the same exact way. We do have earplugs if you guys want to use them. Normally we don't recommend them unless you guys are prone to ear infections or anything like that. But if you do want to use them, just put them on before you get in the shower. Since they're wax earplugs, they're kind of hard to get them to stick when your ears are already wet. And then if you don't use them, just rinse out your ears pretty well at the end of your float so you have no leftover salt. Biggest recommendations are just that you dry off your face before you get in the tank. As you can imagine, the main way people get salt in their eyes is they're laying in the tank, they have water dripping on their face from the shower, they go to itch it, they got salt in their eyes. So dry off your face before you get in. It'll definitely reduce the urge to touch your face for any reason, in turn reducing the chance of getting any salt in your eyes. And then the last recommendation is you might feel a little bit of tension in your neck. It's completely normal for first time floaters. If you do, just try floating like this or just pull up on your neck for a second and usually that'll take care of it. Any questions at all with this tank?
There was a second button in there. What was that one for? The left one
is for music. The tank is brand new to us, so we haven't quite installed the music yet. So there's not going to be any music for this tank. But that will be something we add soon.
Okay, that's cool. All right, that's pretty much answered my question. You got any questions, Sal?
I think that's about it. Seems
pretty straightforward, right?
Straightforward.
Well, okay then, let's do it. I'm excited. How about you, Sal?
Let's do this.
Hell yeah. Okay, so I'm all showered and ear plugged up. Let's give it a whirl. Into the incinerator we go. Alright, so I just got out of the chamber, just took my shower. I'm gonna get dressed and we'll regroup with Sal. So Sal.
Brody.
How was your float, man?
The float was good. Getting out, readjusting to gravity. Where was the snooze button?
It hurts. It hurts getting out again.
As I'm like adjusting, my vision's starting to get like blurry and like shaky. So I don't know what that means. I probably died, but yeah.
Well, you were rebirthed. Welcome to this world, brother. Welcome to this world.
My thing was even shaped like an egg, so I got to be hatched.
You hatched from the egg.
Yeah, I was rebirthed. I am now a bird.
Okay.
You shall call me Sir Cluckenstein, and I will wear feathers for the rest of my times.
Good. I expect to hold you to that.
You will. You will never not see me in plumage. Yeah.
All right, that's enough. So how was it?
Yeah, it was weird. I saw light and movement, and even though I was just kind of laying there in complete darkness, like I felt like I was rotating and spinning, like even though I wasn't. I saw like a blue fadey light kind of thing, like moving around my eyes.
Kind of like the aurora lights.
I don't know what that means. So
the northern lights, like in Alaska and stuff.
I've never been to Alaska, so I can't vouch for it.
You've never seen movies? Okay, all right. But it was relaxing.
As we experienced today, I'm in the dark, but
Good call. So, but it was super relaxing for you?
Yeah, like, considering we did this right after MegaCon, like, all my pain things, like, it just faded while I was in there. Like, I felt, just laying in there for the first 10 seconds, I was like, oh my god, everything hurts, and then it just kind of, like, faded over time.
I had the same sensation of motion in the water. I couldn't sleep. I wanted to sleep.
I'm too prone to sleeping on my side, so like I tried to roll over and I was like, no, then I'm gonna get it in my eye, that's gonna burn.
I didn't hallucinate while I was in there. I didn't see anything at all. But there was a very, 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 very dim light like on the ceiling. And I mean, because I opened my eyes for a while there, you know, just you know, experience pitch blackness. But there was a very, 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 very small amount of light, and it was to the point where I didn't feel like I was in what I was in. It felt like I was like drifting on the ocean in the middle of the full moon, or not a full moon, but a moon up in there. You know, I could. So that was pretty cool. Well, I didn't feel any aches or pains once I got in there. I didn't feel anything at all other than just relaxed.
The experience of coming out and realizing that gravity exists again was very painful, because being a larger person, that's just all the more for me to have to readjust to. It's hard to even formulate mouth words now, but I know when I was trying to get out of it, when I heard the soothing music, I immediately felt like the aches and pains from all of MegaCon running around and the muscle pain, and I just wanted to go back. There's the snooze button.
I do wish I could have fell asleep, but you're not used to being in water when you fall asleep, because you're trained not to ever do that ever. It's a survival instinct.
Yeah.
But I'm sure coming back a few times I'd be able to do that. So here's looking at future's floats.
Yeah.
Yeah, and hopefully sleeping. So that's the experience. It was awesome. You should do it. Yes.
Yeah, 10 points. 10 out of 10 would do again.
It's even better because it's an experience that not everybody knows about and does. So
True that.
And it's super relaxing. So do it. Do it. So we're here with Dante and Nicole for Zenflow. So how much business do you guys get here?
We see about approximately 16 to 18 floats a day.
About
an average.
When we came out of the chambers, as we were saying earlier, it was hard to move around, and it was just so peaceful and relaxing. You don't realize just how much the normal everyday strains.
Readjusting to gravity and everything.
Adjusting to gravity and everything.
Oh, for
Do you get a lot of people like that, or?
Somewhat. We like to call it the feeling that you get kind of like a calmly active and actively calm. Like when you actually do stuff, you can feel like calm while doing it, but you can also just kind of sit down and relax as well. So it kind of works with both ways.
Now, it was a pretty unique experience for both of us. I'm sure it is for everybody who comes in here. I mean, whenever you're laying down or you're in water, you don't actually try to just float and relax. You're always trying to keep yourself floating, but the water, the salt water, kind of like the Dead Man's Sea, keeps your body floating, so you don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, it's about actually 8 times more buoyant than the Dead Sea. So.
Really? 8 times more buoyant? That's pretty cool.
Yep.
But do you guys get like hallucinations and stuff like that? Because I was watching that Rhett and Link video where we got the idea for the sensory deprivation tank. Do you have anybody come in like, man, that was trippy, or man, I was contacting aliens and stuff like that? Or
really, each person's flow is completely different. So you won't have the exact same experience that he had. He won't have any experience that you've had. Everybody's flow is completely different. So there are some people that come out and they honestly sound like they just came back from Mars, or they just sound like they came back from another planet, or just like, you know, literally went in there and did like 3 tabs of acid and then came out. Like they sound like they just had a complete trip in there and then came out and they're like just back to normal. So it all really kind of depends. We also have people that come in here who just come in, for example, we have like 85-year-old people who come in here who float very often, but they don't trip, you know. So everybody's flow is completely different. What you kind of go in there trying to get is kind of what you get. So if you go in there just for relaxation, just trying to get tension off your back because you have pain in your back, then you're going to get, you know, just the tension off your back and all that. If you go in there trying to, you know, kind of reach this spiritual place, then yes, it's definitely possible to reach that spiritual place. It does take, you know, a couple more floats to kind of get to that type of level, but it's definitely possible.
After watching the videos like I was talking about, one of the guys said they fell asleep during it, so I was hoping to fall asleep during it, but I was aware that that might not happen there at the very first float, you know. So I was just as content to be as relaxed as possible, and I was so relaxed I literally felt absolutely nothing, and that is a really unique experience. You don't feel the gravity, you don't feel that, you feel the water, but even that after a couple of minutes or so, you phase out of that, and it's just, it's kind of like feeling like sleeping on cloud nine without actually sleeping.
Yeah, exactly. It's literally like floating in midair where you don't feel anything because you really do float. And since the water is heated to skin temperature, it is very easy to kind of start to lose track of where your body ends and the water begins.
That's very cool. And as you were saying earlier, it's kind of like coming out of it is like being rebirthed almost.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And it has that spiritual connection here. And you were both telling me earlier about how it has the extra benefits of the pregnancy, and so tell us a little bit more about that again.
Oh, the pregnant girl saying, okay. Well, when it comes to pregnancy, I did not get to do it my first pregnancy, and I definitely plan on it this time. But it's the only way to get relief from any tension in your body. You get complete weightlessness from your stomach and your back, and you have to carry that around for 9 months. It gets difficult, and then you get that personal experience with your own child because you feel the baby moving, you hear the baby, and like you can have the father also join in on that, and after 10 to 20 minutes or so you can kind of relax fully and everything quiets down, and you should be able to like hear the baby moving and like swishing around in there. So that would be,
and it's even more bonding because you're like in the same situation too.
And I feel bonding, you know, you would feel bonding as a mom all the time throughout the day. Not yet, it's still a little early for me. But my husband never gets to experience that, or, you know.
Yeah.
In this case, he would be able to go in there with me and listen and like kind of feel. It would be crazy. Just like you said, you heard your stomach growling.
Exactly, because
yeah.
My experience that I think would be kind of similar to an extent on that, you know, maybe on the opposite end of the spectrum, but in the same ballpark. Was that I felt I got hungry a little bit in there, so I could hear my stomach grumbling, and you don't realize just how loud your stomach is until you're having your senses completely deprived. It was weird, but it was in a good weird. It's like, this is a new experience I didn't quite realize.
Yeah, that's why we normally always recommend like eat a light meal about an hour before coming in, or else you will feel your stomach like grumbling. Because if you are hungry in the tank, you'll feel extremely hungry, like. Your senses aren't on anything else, so your senses are completely like kind of on your body and where you are, you know, at this point. So if your stomach's hungry, it's growling, like you're gonna notice it much more. You're gonna focus on it, you know. You're gonna be drawn to it, other than like when you're drawn to everything else that's going on around you. So
it's definitely like the best form of meditation. So that's kind of how you're explaining it.
Yeah.
You're just focusing on your breathing. You could hear your breathing a lot more, your heartbeat. Gonna take it inside and forget about the rest.
You get to that level where you can even hear like your blood flowing.
It was so cool. I mean, thankfully I never got to the point where I was focusing on my hunger, but at the same time I'm kind of happy that I was hungry so I could experience that.
Yeah.
Because you don't realize it, you know? So it's just, it added one more cool memory to the experience of the whole thing. Now I see you guys have packages, you have hours, you have 2 hours, you have several hours, but then you have like all night sessions?
So overnight, yeah.
How does that go?
It's basically an 8-hour flow. You come in anytime after 9 o'clock. Some people split it up. It all kind of depends on the person. We've had a couple people that just, you know, sitting there for the entire 8 hours straight. We also have some people that just get in there. They'll go float for about 4 hours, get out, go eat something, come back, you know, float for the remaining time, and, you know, kind of carry on the day.
I can only imagine, because just in my normal daily life, I have a pretty good internal clock. It pretty much lost all sense in there.
Oh yeah.
So, in a good and comfortable way, I mean, I'm claustrophobic to an extent, but I didn't feel that at all. I was comfortable, I was at ease. Locking yourself in a sensory deprivation chamber, you don't actually lock yourself. It's all, you know, you can leave whenever you want. So you're saying if you got salt in your eye, you can always go to the
Exactly,
shower and
get
wash it
out,
out. But it was really cool. And I see that you guys have, as you're running this interview in your beautiful yoga room here, you guys have yoga,
Yep,
you guys have
for yoga as well.
philosophy classes, you guys have a whole lot of really spiritual connection type of self-improvement, relaxation type of activities here.
Yeah, most of it's just for like relaxation and self-improvement as well. So
That's really cool. I've done yoga every once in a while. Every time I do it, I come out relaxing. So saying, I wish I had done that before I done the deprivation chamber, but you only have so much time in the days, and I didn't realize the yoga until after I actually got here, so I would have probably scheduled for that. But that's pretty much all the questions I have. Sal, do you have anything?
I'm good.
Once you come, it speaks for yourself. It might seem scary or whatever at first going into a pitch black chamber where it's completely devoid of sound, but it's...
The one I was in had the light on the inside, so like even if you're uncomfortable with it, like any point you feel uncomfortable, you can just turn the light on or just leave even, like. But at no point, I was just sitting there, I'm like, I even got the salt in my eye and I was like, I'm just gonna deal with this. I am not, nope, leave, rinse it out, I'm good, I'm just.
When I could be in here.
Exactly. It's like,
Thankfully, but
it's like if you've ever been just laying in bed and you're like really comfortable on a cold night, you're like under your warm blanket, and then you're like, oh man, I have to poop. Let's just see how long I can deal with this need to poop, just so I can.
I'm a girl. That's never happened to me.
Lucky.
Girls don't.
Very lucky.
Oh right, because girls don't do that.
No.
No, they don't. But is there anything else you guys would like to share for the rest of for the end of the interview?
no,
Or
if you guys have any questions, we'll answer them.
no, I'm pretty much answered all the ones you guys. It was a really cool, unique experience. I thank you guys for.
Of course.
Thankfully, having an availability in a short amount of time.
We're glad you got to experience it.
Yeah, come back
Yeah,
from New
this-
York.
If I do come back from New York, this is definitely something that I will keep in mind because we don't have anything cool like this anywhere near where I live.
There are some around New York, so look
There
for it.
are.
Well, not where I live.
No, you told me. I don't know where you live.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It's Nowheresville, Watertown, half hour from Syracuse, New York, or the border, New York. So, but I come down every once in a while for conventions and stuff. We were talking about that and geeking out over it. That's definitely an experience that I plan to do in the future. So,
Awesome.
but hey, thanks again, guys.
No problem.
And
Of course.
that's it for the interview.
Yeah, feel free to bump your website and whatever you guys want to do. Just a little shout out for the video ending.
Cool. Go.
Oh,
Phone number, name, number, everything.
Reach us at totalzenfloat.com or orlandoflotation.com, or just give us a call at 407-960-4155.
Schedule your float and become evolved today.
Yeah, go team.